Well, I'm scruffy, but I'm doing multiple videos today anyway because there's a lot to talk about. This is actually going to be part of the Camp Questions series. I intended to talk about special teams first, but then some people started talking crap about Nicco Marchiol. So quarterbacks are going to be the subject today. I know I talked about quarterbacks just a little over a week ago. It's a little bit different perspective, so we'll do it again. Before that, I do want to say this is WVU football going deep. I am Forrest Poston. Sometimes I make sense. Sometimes I make mistakes. And sometimes I make do. Okay, pretty much always make do. Now, please share, subscribe if you haven't done so, click the thumbs up, click the notification bell, make comments, and tell your friends. All of that helps, supposedly, get these videos out to more people. If we can get the YouTube algorithm to cooperate. Doesn't seem to like me too much these days, so if you can do something to help, I'll appreciate it a little extra. Maybe someday we'll get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark and I can put that little donation button on there. Yeah. A fella can dream. Now, in the video I did earlier, I said, Garrett Green is the starter for this year. He is. I mean, in theory, if he were to win $1 billion lottery, he might quit football and Nicco Marchiol would be the starter. Or we could have some other Twilight Zone moment, I suppose. But otherwise, Garrett Green is the starter this year. Nicco Marchiol is the starter next year. And that is where the disagreement starts. For when Garrett Green got here, a lot of people were saying, oh my goodness, he's going to save the program and he's going to do it right now. Well, he didn't because he wasn't ready, because it takes most quarterbacks 2 or 3 years to get ready. Yes, some play before then, and a lot of them who do aren't really ready. They may have good stats at some point. Kind of like to check how many of them ever truly fulfill their potential. But then, Nicco Marchiol came in, and probably some of the same people said he was going to save the program and he was going to do it right now. He didn't. Of course, he doesn't have to. And then we brought in Ryder Burton after Sean Boyle transferred out. And there are some people who seem to think he's going to save the program over Marchiol, because they think Marchiol isn't and won't be good enough and won't be able to lead the team to scoring a lot of points. And one of the people saying this, I've respected many of the things he said. I am very confused that he holds this opinion. I think he's kind of young, and that could explain a lot. And some people might say I'm kind of old, and that explains a lot. But Nicco Marchiol last year was clumsy, slow, made a lot of poor decisions. Now, in the games, he did what he had to do, and he made things work when it was most important to make them work. That is a very important sign. Now, spring this year, the coaches were saying that Marchiol was more confident, more comfortable, understood things better, and was therefore making better decisions, making them faster, and just generally playing the way they had expected him to eventually play. If you watched the spring game with more than one eye, you saw it. I've had people tell me they didn't see it, but his decisions mostly were better, were faster, and his passes were cleaner. He moved like an athlete. Now, he is not as fast quite as Garrett Green, and he doesn't have the nifty wiggle that Garrett Green has. Well, people complain about Green not being tall enough, but they like how he moves. You don't tend to get that with somebody who's 6'2" or whatever. You kind of got to choose. Marchiol is more of a straight line runner. He finds the path, the seam. He gets 10 to 25 yards instead of getting, the 50-yard touchdown run. But that 20 yards still makes teams have to respect his run. As far as I can tell, Ryder Burton is the same way. Straight line runner who finds the seam and gets a good chunk. He is not going to make a lot of guys miss and take it to the house. I don't know where Wilkins is on that scale as yet. Haven't seen enough of him to know. But Nicco Marchiol, well, one thing we know about Marchiol is he has pretty much as much of that charismatic leadership that Green has. Now, it's a different variation. He's quieter about it, but he has it. I've said before that the entire team would run through a wall for Garrett Green, and I am pretty sure they would do the same for Nicco Marchiol. Would they do the same for Burton or Wilkins in time once they've been teammates for a while? I don't know. We haven't seen enough of these guys to really know if they have that particular it factor. I suspect they do, because I have a feeling it's one of the things that Coach Brown has been looking for. He wants a dual threat quarterback, but I do believe he wants that special kind of leadership factor as well. And that's a big deal, especially in a quarterback, but it's a big deal with any player. So I don't know if that's something people are undervaluing with Marchiol, but these people are saying that Burton is going to pass Marchiol. Some say by the middle of this season, Burton will be the number 2 quarterback. I don't see it. I haven't seen anything in Burton's film or history to say that he is going to suddenly turn out to be from the planet Krypton and just make this massive leap forward. I could be wrong. My curiosity is whether Wilkins will end up passing Burton. I think Wilkins is probably 2 years away from being ready. He was pretty thin when we last saw him. Hopefully he's put on some muscle. He will with Joseph, but that does take time. And I think he needs it before he's ready to really work. 1 year, maybe. 2 years, probably. 3 years, possibly. Now, Marchiol could start 25 and 26. And these guys would have time to get ready and to fight their battles, and probably see one of them leave, especially with Fox and McWhorter coming in. But I really don't understand why people are suddenly underappreciating Marchiol. Seems to be just because he didn't become a star immediately. Said before that it's really important that Green and Marchiol both have had the patience and determination to not only wait but work. I think some of the fans need to pay more attention to that idea of wait and work. It matters with the players, and dang it, some of these fans know that it takes time. Anyway, I have been kind of rambling again, but that is my summary of the Marchiol story. Some people say he ain't going to cut it. I say he's going to star. Marchiol may actually lead the team to more points in 25 than Green does in 24. We'll see. Well, I'll have more camp questions. I will get around to talking about special teams, which I think, it may not be a sexy topic, but I think it's going to be an important one. I'll be thinking about that, working on that. Maybe manage to take a shower here sometime. And I'll talk to you later. So long.